There is a car coming to Canada right now that has no rear window, massages your back while you drive, and costs less than a Honda CR-V. And it just made BMW, Mercedes, and Tesla very nervous. For a long time, if someone told you a Chinese car could compete with German engineering, you would have laughed. Most people did. Chinese cars had a reputation cheap, basic, nothing special. If you wanted something that felt premium, something that showed real effort, you went to Germany, maybe Japan, maybe America. That was just the rule. Nobody questioned it. But rules break, and what has been happening in China's electric car space over the last few years is not a small change. It is a full reset. New companies, new technology, new ideas about what a car should feel like, and sitting right at the center of all of that is one car, the AVATR 12. This car was built by 3 companies working together. Changan, one of China's biggest car makers, CATL, the company that makes batteries for a huge chunk of the world's electric cars. And Huawei, yes, the same company behind some of the world's most advanced smartphones. When those 3 decided to build a luxury electric sedan together, they were not trying to make something decent. They were trying to make something that would make the rest of the world stop and stare, and they did exactly that. The person who designed the outside of this car is Nader Faghihazadeh, a former BMW designer. And when you look at the AVATR 12, you can feel that. The car is over 5 meters long. That puts it in the same size class as a Mercedes S-Class or a BMW 7 Series. But it does not carry its size the way those cars do. Instead of looking big and heavy, the AVATR 12 looks fast. The roofline flows in one smooth, unbroken curve from the top of the car all the way down to the back. It looks like it is moving even when it is parked. The front has no grille at all. Just a clean, sharp face with razor-thin LED lights that cut across the nose. At night, pulling up behind this car at a red light, you do a double take. It does not look like a car. It looks like something from 10 years in the future. But the rear of the car is what really gets people talking. The AVATR 12 has no rear window. Not a small one. Not a tinted one. None. The glass is just gone. In its place, cameras feed a live image to a screen inside the car, and when you see it for the first time, it sounds like a gimmick. But when you see it in real life, it feels obvious, like this was always the right way to do it, and everyone else just had not figured it out yet. Step inside, and the feeling continues. Stretching across the entire width of the dashboard is one giant screen, 35 inches wide, running in 4K. It shows your speed, your map, your music, all of it in one smooth connected display. Below that is a 15-inch touchscreen running Huawei's Harmony OS. If you have ever used a flagship Huawei phone and been impressed by how fast and smooth it felt, this is that same experience, but built into the center of a car. Voice commands actually work the way you hope they will. And because the car receives software updates over the air, it gets smarter over time, just like your phone. The seats are wrapped in Nappa leather and come with heating, cooling, and an 8-point massage system. Not a weak buzzing massage. A real deep massage that works out the knots in your back. Press one button and the seat reclines into what AVATR calls the zero-gravity position, the same body position that astronauts use during launch to take pressure off their spine. 5 minutes in that seat and you are ready to fall asleep. The back seat is just as impressive. Because the rear window is gone, the structural bar that usually sits across the top of the cabin is also gone. That means the panoramic glass roof can stretch further back, giving the rear passengers a cocoon-like feeling. Legroom is at limousine level. The floor is completely flat, no hump in the middle, so the center seat is actually usable. Rear passengers get their own heated and ventilated seats, their own massage functions, and a 1.6-inch entertainment screen. There is also a button in the armrest that lets the person sitting in the back move the front passenger seat forward to create even more space. And then there is the sound system. 27 speakers, powered by a 2016-watt Meridian amplifier. Speakers in the doors, the roof, the dashboard, and in the headrests right behind your ears. Because this is an electric car with no engine noise, sitting inside feels like sitting in a concert hall. Now let us talk about what this car can actually do. The dual-motor all-wheel drive version produces 578 horsepower. It goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.9 seconds. That is, in a large, fully loaded 4-door luxury sedan with a 5-inch screen and massage seats. The battery is 94.5 kilowatt-hours, and the car uses an 800-volt charging system. That means you can charge from 30 to 80% in about 15 minutes. The total range on a full charge is up to 700 kilometers, enough to drive from Toronto to Montreal and still have battery left over. For those who want even more range, there is a version of the AVATR 12 that also has a small petrol engine inside, not to drive the wheels, but to generate extra electricity when the battery gets low. That version has a combined range of 1,270 kilometers on one tank and one charge. That is more than 780 miles without stopping. The technology inside goes even further. The AVATR 12 carries 4 LiDAR sensors, laser systems that fire pulses in every direction and build a real-time map of everything around the car. That is on top of cameras, radar, and ultrasonic sensors. The system can navigate city streets on its own, change lanes automatically on highways, and park itself. On the 2026 update, Huawei upgraded this to their latest ADS-4 system, using their newest 896 line LiDAR. The car has effectively no blind spots. With 578 horsepower available the moment you press the accelerator, having that kind of intelligence watching the road alongside you is not optional. It is exactly what you need. Now here is the part that stops the conversation cold. Take everything described above the giant screen, the Huawei technology, the quad LiDAR, the 800-volt charging, the premium interior, the sub-4-second acceleration, and imagine a European company building it. You would be looking at a price of $80,000 to $100,000 at minimum, probably more for the top version. The AVATR 12 starts at the equivalent of roughly $37,000 to $41,000 in China. The fully loaded version sits at around $59,000. For everything, this car is for the massage seats, for the 4 LiDAR sensors, for the Huawei software, for the performance that embarrasses dedicated sports sedans. That price simply does not make sense by Western standards. One reviewer said, "It feels like a cheat code. It feels like they are selling it at a loss just to make other manufacturers look bad." Now, that is the Chinese domestic price. Bringing this car to Canada adds costs, import tariffs, safety compliance, local dealership networks, and after-sales support. The final Canadian price will be higher. But the point is not the exact number. The point is what that number reveals about what is now possible. The electric car era was always going to be a turning point for the car industry. When the core technology of a vehicle changes completely, the advantages that old companies built up over decades do not automatically carry over. New players can enter with no old models to protect, no legacy costs, no reason to keep doing things the old way. The AVATR 12 is what happens when that freedom is used well, and this is not a one-off. This car is part of a much bigger wave, a wave that is producing real results, in real cars, that real people can buy right now. The question is no longer whether Chinese car makers can build something impressive. The AVATR 12 already answered that. The question now is, what does the rest of the world do next? What are your thoughts on this innovative car? Please tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.